So hello everybody. I will be recording this video because we really had a lot of technical difficulties during our class today. It's that the internet connection was unstable. I shifted from one internet to the school's internet to my own, and then the signal was really bad. It was just less than megabytes, so I cannot transmit the video well. So for today, it's just the same but a little more into what we discussed with last week's topic. So I will be continuing to use the last week's PowerPoint. So our topic is about formulating hypothesis. So once we have identified our problem and the topic that we will focus on and the gap that we have established, which is not studied as much, so we can then try to explain why such gap exists. And when we explain and we try to guess this is the process of making a hypothesis. So formulating your own hypothesis. This is very important in research making because your hypothesis will be the very guide that you will use as you test it in your experiment. So in science, our hypothesis is not guided by debates, or the proving of our hypothesis is not guided by debates or thought experiments and other discussions, but it is proven through experiments. So we really have to learn how to make our own hypothesis. Okay, in the research process, in the scientific method, first we identify the problems, and it really proceeds at the process of formulating your own hypothesis. And next, we then prove it, as I mentioned, in an experiment, and so on, interpret the data, conclude, and verify, and then recommend your useful insights to others. Okay. So what comes after you identify and formulate your research problem? After the problem, it is the hypothesis. So we formulate our hypothesis. But hypothesis, what is it? So first, a word that is associated with hypothesis is prediction. When we predict, what could it be? So thinking of predictions like 2020, 2021 predictions, like maybe you could predict that next year there could be vaccines already. What other predictions do you have? Maybe in the future there will be flying cars. What other predictions? If in 2022 we'd have a human, we could have 2020 we could have a human on Mars, things like that. So prediction is like our own statement of outcomes or things that will happen. So hypothesis is different. We have a table here, and this is formally illustrated, formally described. First one, the prediction is your gut feeling or the person's instinct to forecast something on an event. Forecast. Then you predict what's going to happen. Hypothesis is a statement or supposition based on known but not limited evidences at the moment of the event, and is testable enough to be proven using scientific methods. So your statements are based on concepts that you have known, especially the concepts that we know in the body of knowledge called science. Okay, so the current body of knowledge of science that we know today, we base our hypothesis on that. Next, correlation between variables is not evident. So when I predict like there is going to be in 2023 there would be alien life discovered, something like that. So it's just a statement, a forecast. I would not be really saying if I eat, or if, what could it be? For example, just some sci-fi. So correlations of variables. So if we destroy the pyramids of Egypt, then there would be alien lives that intelligent life forms that would come to our planet, something like that. So it's not the way, it's not stated as that. So wala na to gi-clear kung unsa yung relationship sa mga variable. I just said in 2023 there will be alien lives that will be discovered, but who knows? So prediction na siya ha. Then next, correlation. Whereas in hypothesis, the correlation between variables is evident. So I could state if then something like that. So na ay connection. Okay. The prediction uses present observation to interpret what might happen easily. So present observation, for example, I see some rainy cloud, I see dark clouds, then I'd say in the next hour it would rain. Prediction, just as simple, what's going to happen next. The hypothesis is not just a forecast, but it tells you the explanation, the why side. So it would rain. The rain clouds is caused by the high concentration of some water vapor up there. So due to weather elements and things like that. So na siya explanation. This is the keyword, explanation. Your prediction leads to assumption for the future. Again, unsay mahitabo. Hypothesis is answering and concluding based on experiments, creating theories. So we can answer and conclude by proving it through experiments. Okay. Magkano siya kayo mga assumptions, skepticisms, proposition. Mga i-propose ra ba unsay mahitabo. If we really state our predictions properly, then they could be a hypothesis. Okay, next. This is an example. So, prediction is not really unimportant in scientific research. It is actually very important. So, in this example, let's try to read. For those living on the seaside, even to those seafood lovers, it is observed that crabs seem to be meteor when the moon is full. So you will wonder, why do crabs act that way? Wow. Okay, so you do your background research and found out that most crabs do the molting process, casting and shedding of their old exoskeletons for 3 to 4 hours to give way for the new one on full moons. So they seem to be fat and meaty. So actually, the eyes, sa pag-research, during mga full moons, nag-molting, and they try to shed that exoskeleton. So as they try to shed that exoskeleton, nag-build sila sa new one. So murag mabaga-baga sila. You then hypothesize that the molting process affects the amount of crab meat. Okay, let's underline this one. As one form of prediction based in your hypothesis, if you speed up the process of molting of crabs, you will have more crabs to undergo molting. And this will increase the amount of crab meat yield. So, imo lagi hapon gi-predict unsay usa sa imong hunahuna ba nga if, what if. So, as a form of your prediction based on your hypothesis kuno, what if we try to speed up the process of molting of crabs? Then we will have more crabs to undergo molting. So, mapaspas silang molting, so ma-increase iyang meat yield. So, muna imong i-predict. Okay, ang sa imong hypothesis, your hypothesis is like naa dira imong prediction, but naa lang joy extra statement of the explanation. Since concepts are judged as true or false, they are propositions. So, statements of what's gonna happen. You propose, or statements. Basically, statements. Okay, when a proposition is formulated for, take note of this word, formulated for empirical testing. then it is a hypothesis. So katong mga predictions ato sa una, mga gi-propose nga unsay mahitabo, if we state that in such a way nga matest na to siya in an experiment, consider na din siya na experiment. So depende na dyan sa pag-state. Okay. A hypothesis is a temporary and testable explanation about a natural phenomenon. So testable explanation. Okay, here's a more formal definition. Hypotheses are based on scientific information and previous observations, tentative in nature, and must be tested, explained, estimated, and measured. It is a statement which will predict the possible relationship between the causal variable, unsay nag-cause, or in other words, your independent variable, and the outcome variable, unsay result, or the dependent variable. The possible exploring, so it is a statement that will predict the possible relationship. Okay. We also have this short definition. A hypothesis is an idea that can be tested. So pwede na to siya i-test. In formulating your hypothesis, it should always contain your independent and dependent variable. Okay, there is what we call a scientific hypothesis. Now a hypothesis in other fields of discipline, and we also have a scientific, so science. So a scientific hypothesis must be testable. It is more important that there be a way of proving it wrong than the way of proving it correct. If there is no test for possible wrongness, then it is not scientific. So in basta scientific hypothesis good, the landmark of that one is ma-prove ba siya nga wrong? Is it falsifiable? Is it refutable? Can it be proven wrong? Okay. Can it be proven wrong through an experiment? Through an experiment, because experiment is the test of truth in science. Okay, let's have these examples. These are examples ng scientific. No material object can travel faster than light. Wala daw maka-travel faster than light. So even if it were supported by 1,000 other experiments, this experiment could be proven wrong by a single experiment. So if maka-discover tag mga faster than light particles, so meaning ma-discard ni siya nga statement. But pagka-statement lang, sakto pagka-state atong scientific hypothesis. This is a scientific hypothesis. If naa siya way para ma-prove wrong. How to prove it wrong? Then just find particles nga faster than the speed of light. Maybe you can have it in mga particle accelerators and such. Or you can find it by studying mga celestial bodies outside our planets. Outside our solar system. Who knows? Okay, scientific hypothesis. Here are scientists now. They're still discovering it. Okay, scientific hypothesis this time nga not scientific. Let us try to look at these examples. This one, the alignment of planets in the sky determines the best time for making decisions. Ang pagka-align daw sa planets in the sky. So if this is like the Earth, and then you have Jupiter here and you have Venus here. Okay, so if mag-align daw, then na magimina just like mga astrology. So dira daw ang best time to make decisions. So this cannot be proven wrong, and also cannot be proven right. Okay, how do we prove this right? What if every time jud mag-make kag decisions ni nag-align ang planets kay sakto jud kaayo? But if pero di man siya consistent kay what if day mas sa next na po nimo nga nag-align na po ang planets kay wala di ay nasayop day imong decision, so you somehow failed in something that you want to decide on. So kuan na dili jud ka wala tay experimental or scientific way para ma-prove ni nga wrong. So kung by chance naman kung masakto imong decision, okay, all our decisions can be right or wrong. We still do not know. Basi karon sakto, then basi nila long future sakto sayop tayo itong decision. Things like that. Or reverse. Okay? So if dili siya ma-prove in an experiment nga wrong, it is not scientific. Next. Intelligent life exists on other planets somewhere in the universe. This can be proven correct if we found one nga isa pala alien ba karon for some maka-discover ba ang mga astronauts or mga scientists ug na-visit jud diri like naa jud alien nga magpakita jud sa tao. But there is no way to prove it wrong if no life is ever found. So this statement, intelligent life daw na-exist on other planets somewhere in the universe. Na nag-ingon siyang somewhere in the universe. Pero kung how do I prove this wrong? Intelligent life exists on other planets. Naingon naman gud siya nga ni exist. Sa ingon siya ni exist. Iya jud gi-propose nga ni exist. So, if ang bali ani kay ang wrong ani kay wala ni exist. So if wala ni exist, di man ka sure, di ba? Di man ta ka sure nga wala jud ni exist. Kay wala pa man na to na discover ang di man na to makita tanan. We still haven't reached the edges of the universe, they said. So there's no way to prove this wrong nga wala ni exist. Ang wrong niya ha kay wala ni exist. Ang wrong version doesn't. So there's no way for us to tell kung wala jud siya na exist. Kay di ba puta ka hibalo sa other parts of the universe. So kaning nga statement nga intelligent life kay na-exist daw, yes, it can be proven right, but di ta makatel nga sayop ba. Okay? So that means for now this is unscientific, not scientific. Okay, but how about this? Intelligent life does not exist on other planets. Okay, if naingon ang statement, intelligent life wala jud ni exist. Can we prove this wrong? Can prove this wrong if naatay makitaan. So, can we prove this wrong? Yes, we can prove this wrong. Kay ingon jud siya nga intelligent life does not exist. So, dili wala jud siya na-exist. So if there's just one that would exist, this statement is wrong. But ang kaning bali magud sa isa kay hindi siya na-exist. Pero karon dili pa man nato ma-test kung dili man nato ma-trace sa tibok universe nga ma-check jud nato dapat wala jud. So for now the statement is scientific. But this one is unscientific. So gets ra? If dili ma-prove wrong, unscientific. Medyo kuan lang siya sa mind pero dili lang pud kay nato kuan. What's that? Do not dwell too much. Basta cannot prove it wrong, then this is unscientific if not proven wrong. There's no way to prove it wrong through an experiment or through an observation. Okay. Have had these examples in class. You can check these. Okay, na-share mga explanation, so you can pause this video and all that. Okay, let's now go to the two types of hypothesis. So there are two types of hypothesis. Basically, kani mga hypothesis. Unsa ganitong hypothesis? This is like a testable explanation of a phenomenon based on mga nahibaon na na knowledge or concepts in science. Okay. The two types are research hypothesis and statistical hypothesis. As a summary, the first one, ang research hypothesis, it proposes, let's have these, maybe natabunan siya sa akong, okay, research hypothesis proposes a connection between two variables. Statistical hypothesis, the research, this is for research design that uses hypothesis testing statistics. So, kani sila, there's no, mag-blend ni sila usay. Ang statistical hypothesis lang jud. This was more technical and i-test ni siya through hypothesis testing mga statistics, mga statistical tests. Okay. Why do we have to make why do we have to formulate good hypothesis? Okay, such reasons, number one, it tells us the direction of the study. So, unsay buhaton na ta sa experiment. And then second, it defines the coverage of the study, the limitation and the scope, kung asa ra kuto, unsa ra mga variables atong i-explore. Number three, suggests the appropriate research design. Yes, kung how do we prove it, then dira na to ibasig unsa na to pag-design ang atong experiment. Number 4, it serves as reference for stating conclusions. So after you have data and interpreted your data, mubalik ta sa atong hypothesis para atong ma-align unsa na to pag-state atong conclusion. Next, the 4 conditions of a good hypothesis. Okay, we have number 1, logical. Okay, this is based on the body of knowledge of science. You're able to explain and justify facts involved and deduce the original problem condition. Testable, second one. So the effects or consequences are available. So we can test if, for example, ang fertilizers ba kay makapag-grow ba sa plant. So matest na to siya by growing a plant and then ato bang ang usa na i-fertilizer, ang usa wala, then we can see the effects. Ang usa ni taas ba ang height, ang isa wala. So nitubo ra siya pero ang usa kay mas paspas ang tubo. So makita ang effects or consequences. They are observable, so testable. Number 3, simple. So your hypothesis must be simply stated, briefly and clearly. Okay. Dili siya compound sentence nga. If, then, and, although, however, tas kayo mong sentence. So, simple lang a connection between your dependent and independent variable. Number 4, refutable. So, possibility of obtaining a result opposite to what is presumed. So, refutable. Pwede siya proven wrong. Okay, just like katong statement ito kaniha nga, intelligent life does not exist in the planets outside our planet or in other planets. So if does not exist man, so if makakita tag usa, so wrong na ta, so ma-refute na ka. So nanay mo debate sa imo nga sayop imong statement. Okay, so if you can prove it wrong, there is a test of wrongness, so that's a good hypothesis. Okay, let's specify scientific hypothesis. Scientific hypotheses are, so as we mentioned before, you're having testable and falsifiable proposed explanations. So kani jud mga hypotheses are not just educated guess but educated explanations. Okay, so proposed explanations to account for observed patterns or trends. Ideally, for any given hypothesis-driven question, you'll generate a lot of hypotheses, just like this, at the same level of analysis, which you can then attempt to falsify. So, pwede na to prove wrong by generating your prediction, collecting data, performing statistical tests, and determine whether your predictions are true. Your prediction, unsa may tabo. Okay, so sumpay ra jud ang tanan. Here are some examples. So we have we have observed that male birds sing. Observation ninyo mo, may kanta ang mga male birds. So you have this daghan ng mga scientific hypothesis to explain why. Explain why the male birds sing. Number one, they could sing to attract mates. They could sing to exclude territorial rivals. So, kuan ra, taga-dirira ko ha, murag kuan ba siya? Territorial act. Number three, they sing because they warn other birds na naipaabot na mga predators or maybe hunters. Yeah. Okay, so next. So after that, kaning mga scientific hypothesis is related ni siya sa general term nga research hypothesis. So pareha-pareha ra ni siya, and kani kay research hypothesis under man ta sa STEM nga research. So ang ato jud nga specific term is scientific hypothesis. So generally, research hypothesis is usually written and expressed in declarative form, statement form, and then literature reviews are mostly the source for these types of hypothesis that will suggest the outcome of the experiment. So kung i-suggest niya ang outcome, yung format kasagaran kay if, then. Okay, that tends to predict the effect of varying and changing the independent variable to the effects on changes para sa dependent variable. Okay, we have two characteristics of two types of research hypothesis: non-directional and directional. So, non-directional, there is maingon siya nga na relationship between the variables, but it doesn't tell which one. Deriba, is it we will see in an example later. And the directional describes the nature. Iya jud gi-specify. Let's have this first. Non-directional hypothesis. Non-directional hypothesis predicts the relationship between the independent and dependent variable, but does not specify the direction the direction of the relationship. Example, student-teacher relationship influence students' learning. So if maybe they have a good relationship with the teacher, so naingon siya nga mo affect you daw na sa students' learning. So naingon lang siya nga there is. So there is a relationship. Next, directional hypothesis. It predicts the direction of the relationship between the independent variable. It tells you asa jud. So example, high quality of nursing education will lead to high quality of nursing practice skills. So giingon jud siya nga basta high quality ang nursing education, high quality muhay pud ang mga practice skills. So what's that? Kuan siya nga relationship direct. Whereas dire sa unang example, ingon ra siya nga there is a connection. If ang student-teacher relationship, it influences students' learning. Dinhi kay ingon jud siya nga mo increase ang quality sa practice skills if high quality pud ang education. Okay, another one. So more specifically in statistics, we have this two terms: the tailed, one or two-tailed. So a directional hypothesis, this is termed as one-tailed. So naa siya direction, either here or here. Ang non-directional, wala lang gi-specify. So two-tailed hypothesis. Directional hypothesis states the kind of difference between the two variables. So does one variable cause the increase of the other? So na siya ingon na mo increase ba ang usa, or does one variable siya ba ang reason nga nung maubos? Okay. So non-directional, it simply predicts that there will be a difference or a relationship between the two conditions or variables. Naingon lang siya nga naa. There is. Okay. Kani sa directional, ingon jud siya nga mo increase jud ang usa kung increase nato ang fertilizer then nga gipanghatag sa plant pa karon ang iyang hypothesis is mo increase pud ang growth rate sa plants, something like that. Okay, gi-specify jud niya. Okay, if you are predicting in one direction, this is one-tailed. Mo siya cat nga one-tailed, din siya example kani. And then if you're predicting a change, mo increase ba siya or mo decrease, so muna siya nga if you are predicting a change pero wala niya gi-mention di ay kung ma-increase ba or ma-decrease, that's two-tailed. So wala niya gi-mention pero naa lang yung relationship two-tailed. Okay. Statistical hypothesis. Now, let's now go to the statistical hypothesis. We use statistical hypothesis in hypothesis or statistically driven nga mga research. Kani kung magamit na tag mga statistical test, dapat naatay statistical hypothesis or mga hypothesis in plural form. So these are statements about whether or not a pattern or trend or difference is present on your data. So base ra jud siya sa data. Ang atong research hypothesis is more on grounded on mga concepts. Kani siya kay statistical hypothesis mura siya sa data. Statistical tests are used to distinguish between the null hypothesis and one or more alternative hypothesis. So unsa man ni siya na mga term? The first one, we have null hypothesis. What highlighter color? It's better to have. Let's try to have the red one. Okay. Oh, this looks bad. Let's just have a pen. Let's have a black pen. Okay, so the null hypothesis, or HO, H sub O or HO, states that there is no pattern or trend in the data. Okay, there is no difference between the groups, no relationship between two variables. So naa siya past statements like there is no difference or significant difference and no relationship between two variables. So second, we have the alternative hypothesis. So this is also called HA, or if daghan, ulit tag H1, H2, etc. So if more than one alternative exists, di na ta mag 1 or 2. Okay. It states that there is a distinct pattern or trend. There is a distinct pattern or trend in the data. So ingon di siya nga there is trend in the data. There is a difference. You have these statements like there is a difference between these two, or a relationship between the two variables. You could say like one increases when the other decreases. Maingon jud siya. So pwede siya ma-directional or non-directional ang alternative hypothesis. Okay, let's continue. Statistical hypotheses are not the same as scientific hypotheses. Okay, so these are not the same. How? So statistical hypotheses are not alternative explanations for observed patterns or trends. They are simply statements about whether or not a pattern or a trend exists. Okay. Statistical hypotheses are used to determine whether patterns or trends are present using mga descriptive and mga inferential statistics to test predictions in hypothesis-driven studies. Whereas your scientific hypothesis, di na siya mag-ground og mga scientific concepts. Ang imong statistical hypothesis, more strict statement, niingon na siya nga, naabay pattern or trends sa imong data. Okay? For example, in an observational study about which or sex of the bird sings more frequently in this bird, kaning mga chickadee, chickading, sabi sa to pa, kanta na to sa elementary. So these are chickadees. Your statistical hypothesis might be, sa null, there is no significant difference in the number of songs that are performed by male and female chickadees. Alternative, there is a significant difference between males and females in the number of songs they perform. So, maybe ato sa specify unsang song, no? Depende sa pattern. So, para example naman po na siya. Okay. Maybe di ay laylay jud ang songs ang birds. Okay, so sa null, ingon siya nga no significant difference. Sa alternative, ingon siya og there is a significant difference between males and females in the number of songs that they perform. So ang all else nga dili no significant difference, muna ni ang alternative. Okay. This is another example. Ang statistical hypothesis, this is usually stated in the null form, and it can be simply termed as null hypothesis too. So in your research paper, we mostly state, or most research papers just state the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis lang ibutang. Okay. And then, diha na dayon i-determine sa atong data kung ni support ba siya sa null hypothesis or there's actually another one, another trend. Okay. Okay, there's other information. Ang null form nimo, null hypothesis, negative declarative statement. It'll try to impose that walay relationship between the variables. In short, nothing is happening. Example, there is no relationship between the student's family background and the academic rating in science of grade 10 of Cebu kaning school in Cebu province for the school year. Ano siya? No relationship. Independent variable, ang family background. Ang dependent variable, ang yung rating. So, family background, maybe ang income ba karon or ang family ba nila kay sila ba tanan naka-eskwela yung members, naka-graduate ba yung mga parents, inana. So, mag-specify po din sila unsay pasabot sa family background. Basin, taga city ba karon or dili taga city or inana. Okay. When you try to have your research study, it is always your goal, with the presence of evidences, that a particular treatment, for example, does really have an effect. So, ang ato majud behind our minds, for example, ang katong cockroach, ng potential sa, example, Moringa oleifera extract as cockroach repellent. So, ang null hypothesis ato kay, there is no, wala effect. No, but behind our as we do the research, ang ato jud gusto i-prove is na effect, di ba? That's why we're doing the research. Okay? So, and the hypothesis is there to evaluate those evidences, and it will then determine if the study you have performed is sufficient enough to reject the null hypothesis. So, if ma-reject na to ang null hypothesis, so naa di ay, so effective da ay imong extract sa imong mga cockroach nga gipang repel. Okay, the alternative hypothesis is the alternate one. This is considered as the opposite of your null hypothesis. Okay, this will affirm if there is an existence and tells you unsa ang relationship between the independent and dependent variable. So, muna din ni ang atong gamiton. So, we have to prepare for alternative hypothesis. So, if ma-reject atong null, muna din ni ang next atong i-prove ang atong alternative hypothesis. So, for example, katong atong cockroach. Okay, so let's have this example. For example, for the null hypothesis, null hypothesis, it usually uses this no significant difference. So katong cockroach example na to, we can say there is no significant difference between the means of the number of cockroaches repelled by the moringa extract versus the one repelled by the standard cockroach repellent. Alternative, there is a significant difference between these means. So, nana siya. All else nga no significant difference, muna siya alternative ang dili. So, we can say there is, or we can say mas higher pa dyan ang moringa. We can say ang alternative hypothesis is higher ang means sa moringa extract repellent. Daghan siyang higher ang mean niya nga number of cockroaches killed, or pwede said lower. So, lahi-lahi nga forms. Basta ang no significant difference, muna mo, null hypothesis. So, you have the symbols. HO for the null hypothesis, H1, HA for the alternative, and you have H2, H3, and so on kung daghan kang alternative hypothesis. For example, maingon ka mo increase, maingon pa ka mo decrease, and so on. Okay, so here, in statistics, we have also non-directional and directional hypothesis. So, ang non-directional, duha, there is no effect. In other words, papareha ni siya sa gi-mention ako kaniha nga non-directional and directional. Ato lang siya i-apply sa statistics. Kaning null or there is no effect, muna jud ang null hypothesis. But maingon siya, there is an effect, naghatag siya ng relationship. So, this could be your H1 gihapon, alternative. Pero, non-directional lang siya, kay ingon naman siya nga, na effect. Pero wala man siya ingon what kind of effect. So, non-directional. In siya, there is an effect. So, two-tailed test. Two-tailed test, maka-encounter mo nga mga tests sa statistics. So, pag-determine na to kung one-tailed or two-tailed test sa statistics, di rin mo i-determine if non-directional ba or directional imong statement. Okay, so main kang there is, magamit kang two-tailed test. Sa directional, example, your mean is larger than the population mean. So, napaka-test ba karon nga ang mean salary sa mga scientists kay 100. Example lang, $100. Unya. Ang sa sample mean nimo nga ni-test kay ang imong alternative hypothesis kay mo larger. Hypothesis rin nato ha. So, your sample mean is larger daw. Ang sample larger ilang salary kaysa sa average people. So, you can have this. Your sample mean, the X bar, X bar means, kuan man na siya, mean, average. Mu refers to the mean of the population. Okay. Pwede taani sa itong H1. Your sample mean daw is larger than the population mean. And we have the null, which is your sample mean is less than or equal. So, tanan nga dili alternative. Gibali na pud ba? So, magagamit ta og one-tailed test dinhi. Okay. Kani siya mga statistically driven na jud siya na mga test na nakay-mention na 2.5 chance of error. So, we can go to these kinds of hypothesis testing in the next lessons. Okay? If it will really need for us to learn about this, we will discuss this as we analyze our data. So, for now, let's just learn about writing or formulating our hypothesis. So, just remember, main concepts is that non-directional, pwede siya tawagong two-tailed. So, you can either have this side, lower, or higher. Your non-directional, your directional, naatay one-tailed ang other term. So, you can, pwede ni mong gi-specify nga higher jud siya, imong ma-find out nga data, higher sa mean. For example, mo ni ang mean population mean. So, ang imong na-find out is higher. So, somewhere, a data that falls around here. Muna imong gigusto pangitaon. So, okay, ha? Directional tells you, ngayon siya nga mo higher akong gusto. Non-directional, ko na siya. Between. Okay? So, how do we write our hypothesis? You can have drafts. So, this is, let's just skip that part. So, here, we can have if, then statements. So, how do we do that? So, if your independent variable, state anything, state your independent variable is related to blank, then, unsay mahitabo. Okay. If the blank is describe the changes, then the DV will mahitabo. So, pwede kag mag-inani pag term, pwede sa dinani pagka-state. Pwede sa mag-inani, unahon ang dependent. Blank will, sapol mo, your plant growth, plant height, will, basta baka mo increase when your amount of or exposure to sunlight is increased. Pwede na ni pagka-term. So, naatay lain-laing way. Pwede nani. Okay. Okay, we have a sample hypothesis. You can read these. Let's just have the first one. So, we are underlining the independent variable. Independent is underlined once, and your dependent is underlined twice. So, if the speed of the planaria, this is a plant reproduction, is related to the temperature, your independent variable, then planaria in lower temperatures will reproduce more slowly than those in higher temperatures. So, yung prediction din hinabita. Number 2, if the temperature of the planaria's environment is lowered, independent, then ang effect niya, dependent, the speed of the planaria reproduction will decrease. So, pwede po din ani pagka-state. So, there are many ways of stating. Number 3, a decreased temperature of a planaria's environment will, so magka-better po siya pag-write, nagka-simple siya. So, a decreased temperature of a planaria's environment will decrease the speed of planaria reproduction. So, this is our independent and your dependent. So, imong i-state po unsang mga change like increase or decrease. You can have lots of drafts. If the rate of transpiration is related to the wavelengths of light, transpirations of plants, then exposing a plant, this plant, to shorter wavelengths of light will produce less condensation. Okay, kada makondense ang moisture sa leaf, pakaron, or sa plant part. What scientific facts did the researcher have to know before she could write the hypothesis? Okay, so kaning pag-write na to sa hypothesis based yun sa tong knowledge of science. So kaning dapat na kahibalo taon sa nang about sa transpiration. Okay, so the more that we are knowledgeable of these mga scientific concepts, the widely we can have mga hypothesis. So kaning siya about ni siya sa mga plant transpiration. So, about nag-mention po siya sa wavelengths of light. So, ilahi-lahi ba niya ron ang wavelength sa light? Ang atong visible light, okay, namatay electromagnetic spectrum. So, base ang visible light, ano yung wavelength, base ikuan ba niya sa ultraviolet rays, lahi po na siya ng wavelength sa light, ikuan ba niya sa mga x-rays, sa mga microwave, so lahi-lahi. So, dapat nakahibalo sad siya sa about concepts of wavelengths of light. Okay, so daghan tang concepts na maigo. Okay, so we can draft your hypothesis. Writing your hypothesis takes time until magkakuan na siya. Magka-refined. So this is the last part. Let's try to examine The first draft, you say, plants and gravitropism. Kanagay mo tubo ang plants paubos, tubo ang roots. So the movement of plant stem and roots due to gravity. So your plant stem goes up and the roots goes down. Comments. Imong draft kay basic ra siya. Only the entity katong mga plants and possible independent variable are given. So ingon raman ka plants and gravitropism. Mention do jud ka ana. Second draft. The amount of root cap on a root affects plant gravitropism. So it just tells you the connection it affects. And it's more specific than the hypothesis above, but it's still not testable. So, ni-predict na ka ni. Third draft. Roots of plants have root caps removed that have roots of plants that have root caps removed will differ in root gravitropism from plants that do not. Okay, naingon na ka na nasa connection between your independent and dependent variable. Still, this is not appropriate for an environment because this relationship is not commonly known. Number fourth and final, if root gravitropism is related to the amount of root cap removed. So tangtangon nimo ang kanang tumoy gani sa root, yaba karong gikiskisan. Kuno if daghanon nimo ang if imong statement is if root gravitropism is related to the amount of the root cap removed, then the more root cap cells are removed, the more the roots will show change in angle growth. Okay, complete. It proposes the connection between your independent and dependent variable and tells what the experiment is testing and what will be measured. So, kani ato nang gi-specify nga ato day observe ang angle growth. It is clear that the angle bending of the roots will be measured. So, the more daw ang iyang last, jud, and final, if root gravitropism is related to the amount of root cap removed, katong end man na siya sa root, more siya layer, and iyang i-remove, more root cap cells are removed, the more nga ang root kuno kay mo change ang angle. So, mahiwi-hiwi ang roots underneath. So, nice pa siya nga research, right? I-observe niya ang bending, angle bending. Okay. So, imo jud i-show, diri, man-test yun na to, unsay atong, diri jud makita kung unsay atong i-test. So, more specific. Okay. Again, it takes time. It takes also the background knowledge. But the more we practice and the more we refine, we can achieve better and better hypotheses. So again, let's have your examples. Maybe in another video we'll try to answer the examples in your worksheet. Again, thank you so much for watching this video because we really had some internet connection problems, so it would have been better if we studied this one together. But I really appreciate that you guys have took the time to study this. And if you still have questions, you can always message me. And this is it for now, and goodbye. Thank you.